So I was thinking about attraction and guys that talk about being attracted to women. And how do you know? You're probably saying that sounds really silly. I like, you're thinking I like thin girls, I like thick girls, I like super skinny girls, I like athletic girls, I like short girls, tall girls, white girls, Latin girls, black girls. Have you paid attention or noticed beyond that? Like, have you ever seen a woman that maybe from behind or a side glance, she's your typical archetype or what you're drawn to, and she catches your eye in her shape, and then you talk to her or she turns around or you see something in her face or in her eyes, and it just doesn't feel the same? Now, what does that mean? Meaning you liked her shape. That is your archetype. That's your skin tone, that's your hair color, whatever it is. Maybe it's unconsciously, it's even the outfit she's wearing. Guys don't think about that much, but we do a little bit, probably more unconsciously. But then she seems off or empty or harsh or mean or something you sense, something you feel, something's just not there. Or you've had the other experience where you see a girl and then you look into her eyes and you're like, oh, wow, there's something different about this girl. Or I feel a connection because you were turned on by her energy, by her spirit, her soul, her heart, however you want to call it. Now, which one is it? I would say very simply, it's both. Because if you're not physically attracted to a woman, but you're attracted to her energy or her heart, it probably won't be sustainable. There's a woman, she's brilliant, her name's Alison Armstrong. She has a lot of research on this, talking about guys having bell ringers or archetypes. Guys like big breasts, or guys like women that are 100 pounds or 45 kilos, or they like women that are curvy or tall or short, that this is actually something that's fairly hardwired into us. If you're a woman watching this probably bothers you because you can't change it. And when women do, they generally suffer. But here's what's really interesting for men and women watching this. When a guy picks a woman where he's attracted to her heart, her energy, that thing he senses, and let's say he's into short, curvy brunettes, and he's dating the tallest woman he's ever dated, and she's, a little shorter than him, and she's blonde, and she's thin, but he really likes her energy. The person that will suffer the most in that, and I'm gonna take a page from Alison's book on this one, and I've seen it in clients, but she's the one that opened my mind to it, so I gotta give credit where credit is due. A lot of times people think, oh, the guy will suffer. You're not gonna be attracted to the woman the same way. And there's truth to that. The guy's gonna go, okay, well, I like this type of girl, but I'm with this type of girl, so it causes me to look, or then I go into porn, or some guys cheat, or whatever it is. And then I'm looking at her friend. But the person who will really suffer actually is the woman. Now, if you're a guy and that surprises you, I'll tell you why. Women have a different desire to feel desired. As men, we don't really think about our body image, maybe 5% of what women do. Maybe, probably less. We think, am I in good shape? Did I go to the gym? But we're not really thinking about it. We're not judged on it. There's not magazines telling us that this is too much, this is not enough, you gotta change this, more of this, less of that. So the couples I've seen stay together for decades and be thriving in relationships, it just works. And I think we make a big error when we try to compensate for things. Or when a woman feels this and then she goes, I gotta lose a bunch of weight. I gotta gain a bunch of muscle. I gotta get plastic surgery. And she's constantly trying to mold herself into something different. So as a guy, I talked about these two, physical and then kind of energy or heart. So those are two big ones that you notice, especially they're different. One is like, okay, what do I notice with my eyes? And what's one do I notice with my heart, my feelings, my emotions? That's sixth sense. But there's two more as well. Because if you have a woman and your heart's really drawn to her, but you can't connect mentally or emotionally, and that doesn't just mean whether you have things in common or not. That can be important. It can be good to have things that are not in common as well. It can create more energy. It can create things for her to appreciate about you, you to appreciate about her. However, if there's nothing, no shared values or no shared interests, and values and interests are two very different things, or they can be. More on that in an upcoming video. But you need these four things: a physical or sexual attraction, an attraction based on a physical or sexual attraction, an attraction that would be based on heart energy, something you sense, a mental attraction, meaning can you talk about things? Do you laugh the same way? You know, not laugh like you laugh the same way, but you can connect over laughter, over shared interests. You know, you like to actually sit and talk with her, not like, oh, I gotta talk with my girlfriend, oh, my wife wants me. It's actually enjoyable. Maybe it's not as enjoyable if you like talking for an hour and she likes talking for 4 hours. That's different. More about that in an upcoming video. And then the last one is emotional attraction. If you're having deep conversations about how you feel, about emotions, can you pitch and catch with the woman? And this can be really confusing and really tricky if we only have one or two of these. So if we just have a strong sexual, physical connection and a heart connection, but there's not really emotional depth, and you can't really pitch and catch, and you have shared interests, talk about things, your mind doesn't feel stimulated, it's going to be incomplete. And then on the other hand, it can be mentally and emotionally, but you don't have the physical attraction. And some of these things are pretty cut and dry, and some of those things, they're kind of just there or they're not. So if you like a certain archetype woman and that's what does it for you, and you're like, gosh, if I'm with that different archetype, gosh, I love that girl, but I'm gonna be thinking about other girls, or it causes me to want to look at girls in the street. It's gonna challenge the relationship. It's gonna challenge both of you. But ultimately, guys, and ask a woman, she's gonna feel it. Because what she'll notice, and she's picking up and sensing nuances, she'll notice what girls you do look at, even if it's on your way to the bathroom when she's at the restaurant. So she'll notice, again, using that example, well, I'm a tall, skinny blonde girl. Why does he always look at the short, curvy brunettes? So she'll feel not enough. She'll probably feel not as safe. She won't feel as desired. And desire for women is very, 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 very different. As guys, like I said, do we want to be desired? Sure. Do we think about our body being hungered and desired for the way testosterone desires things? Do we think about that from a woman? We like it, but it's not something that we're spending, 3 hours in front of the mirror or trying on, 8 different shirts, 5 different shirts to go out, or what shoes match this. Some of us do. Most of us don't. So if you were to go back and think about your past relationships, can you think about relationships where all 4 of those boxes were checked? And what's great, maybe you can't. Maybe you go, oh no, I've never thought of that. Excuse me. Oregano oil burp. But you can go back and think of relationships of, and I was doing this recently myself, like, I remember this relationship from 2012. And for me, it was the characteristic of like fun and playfulness. And I was like, gosh, out of all my relationships that I dated long-term, that had that the most. It was actually like crazy and unsustainable because it had so much. But it like helped me to remember, that's something I really, really, really need. And thought about relationships where I had, the heart connection. I had the physical connection. I had the mental, emotional connection. So if you're to think about whether you're in a relationship now or maybe you're going to be single soon, and go back and think about those relationships. And like I said, it's okay if you've never had all 4 of those connections. A lot of people haven't, and frameworks are almost like languages are so important, because if you go, I'm attracted, that might not be enough if you don't know how and why. Because you can go, oh, we're totally incompatible, but I'm just so physically attracted. Or God, there's this energy, there's this heart, but yeah, we can't hold a conversation. So when you have a framework like physical, energetic or heart, emotional, mental, then you know what to look for. And you may be able, as you get to know yourself even more, go on 3 dates and learn more of, oh, this is a fit or not. Because also, as you know, guys, with physical attraction, it's either there or it's not. Polarity comes and goes based on many different things. If polarity was never there, that's a very different thing. But physical attraction for us as men, it's there, it's not generally. I know multiple women, whether they were, 3 months in, 6 months in, they weren't that physically attracted to the man, but they were attracted to his heart, his presence, his energy, and they became physically attracted later. If you're a guy listening to this, that probably sounds really weird. Again, to use that metaphor, if you like 5'2", you're 6 foot tall, you like 5'2" curvy brunettes, and you're dating a 5'9" thin blonde, you probably just feel the way you feel. A lot of guys, I'd say, honestly, sorry ladies, probably 95%, 99% of us, we're not gonna feel different after 3 dates, 3 months, 6 months, or a year. It's just kind of there, it's not. So go back through your old relationships or your current one and notice, do you have all 4 of those? And to have not just the love and the connection, but that passion and that mental, emotional connection alive, you need all 4. Otherwise, in my opinion, it doesn't work. Or you can be in a relationship where you have 3 out of 4. You have, as an example, you have the heart connection, mind, emotion. You don't have the physical or sexual connection, and it will show up, or it'll show. Your chemistry, your being in the bedroom, it won't be the same. So know yourself. The best thing to do before you even know what you want is to know you, so you can know what you want, so you can show up for yourself, show up for your woman or soon-to-be woman, and show up for your family or soon-to-be future family. Thanks for tuning in. Phil here. See you soon.